Highland Hills. If retirement looks this good, then dreams have turned into reality. The gate of Mesquite, Nevada community boasts landscaped yards, nearby golf courses, and palm trees waving against a blue sky. But there's one dirty secret.
The only people that really know are the city and the engineers that work for them.
For the mostly retired community residents, their Mesquite homes were their dream homes. One home was bought for $355,000 in cash. Another paid $285,000.
What a view we've got. That way and this way. We had the best house in here. We thought we had the house that we're going to have for the rest of our life.
The Lockers bought their dream home, a spacious kitchen, mountain views, in 2007. But Bob's and Barbara's home was built upon a buried reality: garbage. Their home literally rests on an old landfill, and now the home is basically sinking.
You see how it's coming apart? This is brand new, like a year and a half old.
Like homes built on a bowl full of jelly, a few homes are slowly cracking and collapsing, pulling apart because of garbage, chemical, and human waste living underneath the home's foundation and under community water lines.
And we are sitting right now on 17 feet of garbage.
We don't know what to do. And I think the whole community feel that way.
Bob's house is starting to break. Cracks show at the foundation, near windows and wall bearings. Even his driveway looks different.
I haven't any trouble driving on it, but it's starting to move, starting to break up the house.
Meanwhile, the water department called the Lockers and told them they detected a water leak. Bob Locker Jr. told the water company to cut off the water because it may be pouring into the landfill. The Lockers immediately fired off emails along with additional phone calls to RFMS and the city. RFMS asked for permission to tear up the driveway and repair the leak. The city has not responded. It's been 1 week.
There's one right there.
I just noticed the last week we've had 3 or 4 cracks in our foundation.
This is opened up here.
Bob and Barbara are snowbirds who spend the other half of the year in Alaska. When they returned, fall of 2013, to Highland Hills, Barbara noticed a stir in the community.
When we got here is that people were all talking about the Alaska house, the people in the subdivision. Finally I figured it out. They're talking about where we live. And then we found out that all kinds of things went on while we were gone. We started asking questions. And we found that most doors were closed when you ask questions.
We have a lot of people that are worse than we are. I've seen people cry, and I've been one of them. Like my next door neighbor here, Jim. I'm starting to tear up now.
Bob's neighbors Jim and Barbara Stroop are now living in Highland Estates in the same city, compliments of the developer RFMS. That's the same company that built the Stroops' home. RFMS offered to house the Stroops for 3 months after Barb's doctor suggested she move out of the home to see if her health conditions of dizzy spells and headaches improved.
They were talking about methane gas in the neighborhood. And after looking that up on the internet and printing it out, I took it to the doctor and I said, do you think that this methane gas has something to do with my being sick? And he said, you can't prove it is and you can't prove it isn't. However, I would suggest to you to take an extended vacation of 3 months away from your house and let's see if your health improves.
Methane testers were finally put inside the Stroops' home, months after the Stroops complained about the possibility of methane rising from the foundation. The same testers were just placed at the Lockers' home mid-May, and Barbara is unsure about what will be found.
Well, if it comes back and they say it's not, I will believe that for one day it wasn't. That's the only thing I'm going to believe. I know the garbage is there. And I know that it skyrockets, the methane level does, down in that hole certain times of the year.
Just today, after notifying them that we all knew about it in January, Here it is in April, and they finally today put canisters in my house to look to see if there's any type of gas present.
Even if methane isn't found, Jim said he won't be moving back to his house.
And it's still on the dump. You can't do anything, it's a dump.
Jim said he will cooperate with anyone in hopes to fix this dirty reality.
But I'm still saying, I'm on the dump. I want my house paid for. Give me my money, and I'll slide into the sunset.
That sunset might be far off. Journalists in Mesquite have pored over city and health documents to ask the same questions asked by residents. There are letters from Southern Nevada Health District, formerly known as Clark County Health District, stating a record of human waste, chemicals, and sludge on the same ground where the Stroop and Locker homes sit today. A note even reads, quote, "Mesquite dump site cannot be used for the disposal of sludge," end quote. Yet that's where the sludge ended up. Dubbed as a serious public health concern, these practices appear multiple times in various city documents.
And the first thing we did is we said, what about the city? Get the city to come and take care of this. This is such a big thing. Unbelievable that the engineering was way behind the building and the approval by City Hall hadn't even come about as yet. How could people do such a thing? And who's responsible? Guess what? Nobody. Nobody's responsible, and if you want to prove otherwise, you're out of luck because no one's talking to you.
And it's not just the residents who aren't receiving answers. There are gaps in the documents that Mesquite journalists currently have access to. City of Mesquite officials declined to be interviewed on camera during the second week of May. The city initially refused comment on hiring a Vegas law firm, and the city also failed to comment on what Vegas lawyers were going to do that the city attorney could not provide. A May 13th email to a reporter stated, "The city did not contract with outside attorneys to assist with Highland Hills. The attorneys representing the city in this matter were assigned to the city by the state's insurance pool." As of May 2014, RFMS also directed questions to hired legal counsel, more than 4 months after residents first presented the issue before Mesquite City Council. An email, dated May 12th, gave official word that RFMS is concerned about these serious allegations and are conducting a thorough review of the matter. Months later, homeowners say they are frustrated by the lack of communication and action.
Fill out your Freedom of Information paperwork, and you know exactly what you're looking for. Then the employees there, they're wonderful, but they've been told to keep a lid on. You can tell that just by the way they do business.
One man who seems to have some answers is Colin Warren, another Highland Hills resident. According to original boundaries of the dump, Colin said he thinks the dump may have passed right through the middle of his property.
This is what they are trying to say, this was the landfill, but the documents that Colin has show that this is actually landfill. We do not have verification of that.
You know, the whole thing just seems like one giant scam.
He started to collect pages of documents, a joint effort that involved the Locker's adult children, and the binders rest on his table. Initially, Colin thought the area was a burn area, which means a place to burn sticks and grass cuttings, basically not a landfill. But then something odd happened when he tried to burn a group of collected tumbleweeds on the side of the hill near his home.
When I lit them off, it just automatically blew about 80 feet straight up in the air. And my first thought was methane.
A map shows that some of the subdivision was included within the old landfill boundaries. The presence of methane was Colin's first suspicion, but while the city tests for methane, Colin received more bad news. 21 different chemicals were found in his water meter box out front, which is approximately 100 feet from the landfill boundary.
And each one of these chemicals attacks the central nervous system and are cancer-causing agents. Chloroform, tetrahydrofuran, benzene, cyclohexane. Most of these I've never heard of. This is the road coming in. This is the park area, outlined in orange. The original 10 acres of the dump, and this may not be exactly correct, but I stand by it better than 95%. This is my house here, lot 58. This is the Locker's house, lot 46. And Jim Stroop's next to them is lot 45. These are elevation lines. So that shows that it was supposed to be sloped down into like a big valley going into the park. But they built it up so they could supposedly build 3 houses there, but that's where a lot of the trash is. We found trash 27 foot deep in this area here.
The road itself sits on about between 20 and 30 feet of garbage. City manager got on TV, said, "We're working with everybody, gonna make everything all right." That was the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. They haven't contacted us at all. Pretty upset with the city. I think they've really let us down.
Island Hills homeowners aren't really living the dream. Instead, they're out hundreds of thousands of dollars, unsure about their home and future in Mesquite, while wondering about their safety and not getting any answers.
But many of the members was hoping that it wouldn't be a big stink, because then what's my property worth, they're thinking. Or did I make a mistake and spend all that money for a house that's nothing but trouble?
Between the hill and my back fence here, under that gully is 25 more feet deep of trash, according to the documents. I used to like that hill, so I look out there now and I just go, oh my God, you know?
And I don't believe they told RFMS. I don't think they told the Virgin Valley Water District. And I know for darn sure they didn't tell any of us.
While the Lockers make their way back to Alaska, the Stroops continue to live a few minutes away from their home. Both hope to hear specific answers and solutions to their dream home that is now a nightmare of a dump.
Why should I be the suffering couple, Barbara and I, for the mess up of someone in the past that issued the permits, or someone that asked for permits that possibly knew that it was a city dump? These are errors by professionals that's supposed to be looking out for the betterment of the people of the community that elected them to the office. They failed. And should I suffer? Absolutely not.
Somebody should fix it.
It doesn't make any sense to put the citizens of the community into that kind of danger.
A danger made up of a sinking reality, trashed dreams.